What's going on, football fans, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Birds. Usually when we go through the offensive line, I like to single out one player and then we'll look at him. Now we're in a situation where we have so many guys in the offensive line, reserves coming in and playing, Nate Herbig, Jack Driscoll, Landon Dickerson, Dillard. So I decided, fuck it, we're going to do an O-line unit versus the Chiefs. We're going to go through every player, every play, and then see, how are they doing this game. The one that I really was looking forward to was Jack Driscoll against Chris Jones, all-pro defensive end Chris Jones. And if you're looking forward to that one too, you're in for a treat. Let's get right to the tape.
Outside zone, and for this play to succeed, you want everybody to seal off their defensive linemen respectively to the inside. But you also combo up on the different guys. So here, for example, you have the defensive tackle in a one technique. You'd want Landon Dickerson to help Jason Kelce before he's releasing anywhere else. Otherwise, it's a tough job for Kelce to take away the momentum of the defensive tackle, get him turned, and also seal him off. So the ideal thing here would be for Dickerson to give 91 a pop and then move up to a 53. Because if he does that, Kelce doesn't get driven back as much as he does, and then it would open up a crease somewhere in there. But this is closed because Dickerson, who is really not contributing to the play here, isn't helping out with Kelce. So then you get all the way to the outside before there's even a remotely a hole due to that, and Jalen Reagor misses a block there, so it becomes a limited gain. You can actually see Jason Kelce; he's pissed at Landon Dickerson. It's easier to see here from the wide view. Look, Jason Kelce here. He immediately turns to Landon Dickerson like, "Dude, help me the fuck out!" Jailbreak screen. And a phenomenal play by the offensive line and Dallas Goedert. Take a look at Dillard and Kelce, who are just going to give a pop to their guys and then come out here. Dillard sealing off the nickel cornerback, Kelce coming in depth and sealing off the linebacker, and Dallas Goedert with a really good lead block there to the outside. See, you can barely see it out here. He does that right here. Seals that guy off. Beautiful combination on the outside there. Play action power. So Nate Herbig will be pulling to the right side of our screen here. You have Driscoll in one-on-one with Chris Jones out here on the outside. That's a good matchup. Everybody holds up well here. They work well inside. 51 is going to stall. So really the key guy to notice here on this play is Jack Driscoll going against Chris Jones. Good step. Good first step. Good angle. Takes him on well here. Then Chris wants to go inside. And from the box view here, it looks like he actually gets close to Jalen Hurts, but looking at it from the wide view, see right here that he actually comes well with him inside and gives him that final push. So good rep by Driscoll, the rest of the guys. Zone left for everybody on the line here, and then to the outside with Reagor and Goddard, they're kicking out their guys out there to the outside, to our left side of the screen. And so the point here is that you want to give it up to the backside, and then Miles Sanders follows the lead block in Jalen Reagor and Dallas Goedert. And the line blocks it well, and there is a gap for Miles Sanders to run through, but apparently he decides that he wants to run straight into a linebacker instead. The guy I want to point out here, Jack Driscoll again, against Chris Jones. Very impressive push he gets right there with some help from Zach Ertz there to begin with. Good block by these guys. Passing the ball, and we're in man protection from the O-line. So the running back will just release straight out, and you got man on the board here. And this time, Dillard is going up against Chris Jones, and we have Driscoll against 51. Driscoll does a good job here. He holds up his guy well, and as he's trying to bull rush him inside, he sets the anchor, doesn't get pushed back too much. On the other side, Chris Jones has a really good rep here on Dillard, who is really focused on not getting beat on the bull rush. And the result of that is that Chris gets inside and gets the hurry on Jalen. 7-man protection scheme, so both the running back and tight end are gonna stay in here for pass blocking. We're sliding to the left on the line, which means the running back will have to come out here to the right side and assist with Dallas Goedert. Really good job by Dillard, 1-on-1 against 51 here. Takes away his momentum. Good hand placement. And taking a look at Chris Jones, who is lined up in the 3 technique this time, is getting picked up by Jack Driscoll, who is sliding to that side. Really good job by Dallas Goedert, taking away the defensive end here by himself. Miles Sanders picks up 56 coming on the blitz. And all while this entire D-line and the extra blitz has been picked up well for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is running around like a headless chicken in the pocket for no reason at all. And it's unfortunate because you actually have Devontae Smith wide open there in the end zone. So if you just stand still, see that, you could easily throw that. RPO. So the offensive line is just going to block this as if it is split zone left. Dallas Goedert coming in here. So we have two double teams up on the 3 and the 1 technique, and then you would transfer up to the second level after taking on those guys. So running is an option there. And both the units here, both the double teams get really good push on the big guys there in the defensive tackle. Especially Herbig and Driscoll gets a really impressive push here. And altogether they move the line from about the 40, from about the from the 38 until to way beyond the 40-yard line. So if you were to rush it here, just follow your big guys up there, and you get like 4 or 5 yards. Easy, good push. Play action power. So this time Landon Dickerson will be coming over to the left side of our screen on the play action here and take on 97. A couple of good blocks here. We have Driscoll doing a good job on 98 here. Gets a little odd angle to him, but working well with Herbig to gain control of him again. And Andre Dillard with a very good rep here, taking the defensive end to the upfield and out of the play. Overall, another solid job here. Jason Kelce gets beat a little inside there, but gets help from Herbig. So altogether, the guys are in good control here. Dive up the middle. So we're going to kick out the edges. We're going to double team up on the 1 technique defensive tackle, and we're going to let Miles hit the inside gap here. He's going to read the linebacker well that he is in the A gap, so he bounces it outside to the B gap and gets some good yards in that play. A really solid double team here by Dickerson and Kelce, and you can argue that Kelce might even have extra momentum here to take on Bolton, I believe it is here, linebacker in 54, to create even a bigger hole, but good push all throughout the line of scrimmage. Dillard doing a really good job here sealing off the end. 4-man pressure here from a wide alignment. So we have 3 and 3 tech, or even a 4 tech looks like, and wide 9s. And they're just going to keep their rush lanes upfield. Good job by the offensive line working in combination here of pushing everything upfield, especially out here with Herbig and Driscoll doing a really good job on Chris Jones and whoever the other guy is, 97. Take a look at these two guys working in combination here, sorting things out, moving it together, and they're using the bodies there, creating a good good pocket for Hurts. 4th down play, and Chiefs are sending extra pressure here. Going to send 2 linebackers after Hurts, and you have too many blitzers for blockers, so somebody's going to get open on this play. What I would you like to see happen here when you have 5 guys in protection against 6 is that you take away the most dangerous rushers. And for Andre Dillard, he has to recognize that 51 is coming on the blitz on the inside, because you always get faster to quarterback on the inside. And he's on the line here. He's on line right ahead of him. So he has to realize that he needs to take on 51 here, because they're sliding everybody to the right side. So it's natural for Dickerson to take on 91 and for Kelce to take on Bolton as he's coming in here. So you're sliding right, take 51. Then Jalen Hurts knows he's hot off the edge and has to get rid of the ball there. But Hurts bails Dillard out in that play. Man protection scheme for the offensive line. Running back releasing out the backfield immediately. Very good job here. Single blocks. You have Dickerson helping out a little bit there on Kelce. He's got his eye out for Dickerson if he needs help. Maybe could have argued he needs to actually help a little bit more on the guard there when nothing is coming in, but realizes that a little bit late. Take a look at Driscoll on this rep, man, against Chris Jones. Got told 2 hours before the start before the game that he's going to start at right tackle. Very good get off, good hand placement, drive him upfield, sustains the block there. Really good job, and Herbig as well. I mean, everybody here's got their guy. Herbig got pushed back a little bit initially, but he seals the anchor. So there's really Hurts escapes out because he obviously he's going to feel that pressure from Herbig as he's getting pushed back a little bit. But ultimately, that's a fine job by the offensive line here. They're gonna call holding, and they're gonna call that on Andre Dillard because of that. So that's very unfortunate from an otherwise good job here from the rest of the offensive line. Jailbreak screen for Kenneth Gainwell, and just a really good job here by Jason Kelce. This is offensive lineman art. Over 30, center, and moves like this. Puts down 56 right there off the snap. Comes out in the open. Boom. Puts out Tyrann Mathieu down the field. Of a hustle play by 56 though. He's the guy who gets pushed down by Jason Kelce there initially. Get pushed down there, and then the hustle for him to come back and make the tackle. Otherwise, that's a touchdown.
QB power to the right side, and this play is really made up of Jason Kelce and Nate Herbig doing a really good job here of sealing off. First off, Nate Herbig taking the one tech and then sealing him off to the inside. And then Jason Kelce releasing up to the second level immediately, and that brings the hole free right there. Jack Driscoll is driving 59 upfield. Unfortunately, Andre Dillard misses his block on the guy out there. I mean, he is in the way, so even his presence on the play makes a difference, but you want him to hit that block, so there's a highway for Jalen Hurts to go up in right there. You could only imagine if then he only has the safety to beat. But really good job by Driscoll, by Herbig, and especially by Jason Kelce. Fake sweep. So Miles Sanders going to act as if he's coming out here. Offensive line acting as if they're going to wide block here to the outside. So it creates a one-on-one here with Andre Dillard and with Landon Dickerson. Both of these guys doing an okay job here. We'd like to see Landon Dickerson be in a little bit more control. His feet, see for yourself. That does not look athletic, and then he stomps his foot back in the ground. But he regathers himself well here and pushes the defensive tackle upfield. So gets the job done. Hurst makes a fine decision here of taking off. There's nobody really open on the play. We saw that in the Jalen Hurts breakdown. Fine job by the O-line, but nothing there. Outside power. So we're going to have Landon Dickerson pulling to the outside here. He's going to let the initial guy go who is beating, I believe it's Dallas Goedert, off the line. Come out well and lead block to the outside. Push his guy downfield. So the Eagles get some yards on that play. Not a pretty rep for the offensive line here. And where do we start? I mean, we start with Andre Dillard, who misses the inside move right there and gets put on the ground. Landon Dickerson notices that the outside guy is stunning inside a little bit late. I mean, he also is coming in quickly, so you want him to at least get a hand on the one tech before he has to look out. But he's late on the lookout there. Herbig gets driven back too much, and Chris Jones finally gets the better of Jack Driscoll on this rep and pushes him into to Jalen Hurts. Thankfully and fortunately, Hurts finds Devontae Smith quickly sitting in between zones, so it's a bit of a positive gain anyway. Comes back well on the play here shortly after, where we have a five man pressure scheme for the Chiefs here. Everything the defensive tackles here are gonna be pinching on the inside, and that gets picked up well by the three interior guys. And we're on the outside. Good job by Driscoll, especially here on his guy. He has him in full control. Dillard, on the other hand, gets countered inside by 51 and ultimately gives up the hurry there. But the O-line holds up well enough for Hurts to just be calm in the pocket and see that wide open Quez Watkins running down the field there for a touchdown, or at least see Zach Ertz with his hands up right there across the middle. They do very sufficient job for Jalen to be able to see that. That was a little bit too far. Take it right here. Especially Driscoll. Take a look at Driscoll in this rep here, 1-on-1 against the dude on the outside. Good footwork, good get off. Jailbreak screen to the outside. Very good job here by the three dudes on the left. And Landon Dickerson does a good job here of getting his inside hand on the linebacker and stalling him. Jason Kelce with a phenomenal block on the defensive end on 51 out there on the outside. Look at Jason Kelce come out here to the outside. Boom. Just not too much. You don't have to crack back block him or anything like that, but does way enough for him to be stalled and not be able to catch up on Quez. Not too much fancy on this play. Just want you to recognize Jack Driscoll against Chris Jones here on the outside. The first hand he gets on him stalls a little bit of that momentum, and that eases the anchor for him to take away the momentum of Chris Jones as he's trying to get the bull rush in here. Chris Jones just beat Driscoll, so really good bounce back for him right here. Rest of the line does an okay job. It's a quick pass. RPO and the defensive end stalling a little bit on the quick pass to Dallas Goedert. Dillard gets way too much down the field considering
what the play is actually meant to be. There's no reason for him to be there, whether it's run or pass. So I mean, keep it in mind for him that, all right, this is RPO, and I'm not the lead blocker to that side. He doesn't have any relevancy to that play. There's no reason for him to get all that depth, but it's unfortunate. 4-man pressure, and overall a good job of the line here. Kelce and Dickerson work in combination. That's easy. Dillard does a tremendous job here of taking away the momentum of the defensive end. Take a look at his footwork. Pop, pop, pop. Move them back once, 1, 2, 3 times there. Take away the momentum of the defensive end with each step. Herbig has this guy in good control. Driscoll gets pushed back a little bit too much here, and that's because he's catching the dude with his feet up in the air. So want to be a little bit more aggressive when taking on the bull rush there. Have your feet planted when you're going against him. Deliver some power into him instead of just catching him all the way. Does regather and does anchor as soon as he comes back there and gets his feet planted. But it would have been much easier on himself if he had just planted the feet to begin with. Otherwise, solid job from the rest of the O-line. 3-man pressure for the defensive line. They recognize that immediately. Driscoll notices that his dude is going to travel with Gainwell out the backfield. So he's going to stay with the 3-tech here and help out with Herbig. Double team in the middle. Dillard does a really good job against his guy. For some reason, Jalen Hurts feels that he needs to scramble out the pocket anyway. Totally unnecessary. Could have delivered this ball without and have his feet planted well and step into the throw instead. But, yeah. Defensive end is going to chip block on, Zach Ertz is coming out here. So initially it's the 3-man rush. Driscoll gives a little bit of help there to Herbig, initially keeping his eyes outfield, and notices that last second he's coming and gives a little pop to him to keep Hurts clean. 4-man pressure this time. Good job all around. Take a look at Driscoll first here. Takes on his guy well. A little bit more aggressive this time when he's taking on the rusher. Gets his one arm out and then catches him afterwards. Some good steps there to take away the momentum. You can argue maybe take a step towards the guy and not away from him, so there's a little bit bigger margin to get in there to Hurts. So if he does get driven back a little bit, that he isn't disrupting the pass. Good job here by Herbig of taking his guy upfield and Chris Jones. Taking a look at the left side. Landon Dickerson, really good pass rep there. Set the feet, reset his hands as you got the spin from the 1-tech. Dillard, fine job. Defensive end to the tight end side is going to get chipped on this play once again. I don't think he realized I think he gets surprised a little bit by the chip because he becomes a non-factor of that. Kind of stands still afterwards. Really doesn't do much. And everything over here is just one big mess of big bodies. Dillard is by himself, so we can take a look at that and how he's doing there up against 59. Gives up the inside a little bit there. Not a good angle to begin with, but does regather well. That's not a holding. That's just a dude leaning backwards, has his hands, plays well on him. It has him right in front of him. So that's a good rep by Dillard. He kind of needed that at this point. Running back protection up the middle here, so we're going to split the line. Kelce's going to slide to the right side, and we have 2-on-2. But the defensive end over here is going to bail. So Dickerson really doesn't become a factor at this play at all. Kenny Gainwell is going to release out, and then we're going to have a blitz to the outside instead. So it's 4-on-3 to the right side of the line. One gets free through the B gap. That's just a guy too many on the blitz there. So good play by KC. They have a very favorable blitz set up against the protection scheme for the Eagles here, because if they were to slide protection, or if they just went for man protection, would have been easier for them. I mean, you can also say Dickerson maybe needs to realize that this guy is disappearing and this dude is dropping, and then look for work to the other side here. You can make that argument, but probably would have made a huge difference. Just a good play by KC. 4-man pressure. We have a little play action going here. And the chip from the tight end here on Chris Jones. That's a good idea. That's a good adjustment there to get the chips in there, help out your young tackles, reserve tackles. But I really enjoy the rep here from Driscoll on Chris Jones. It's a man-on-man battle, but he gets angered, and when Chris Jones is trying to counter outside, Dillard has a good hand placement, drives him upfield so he doesn't become a factor in the play. Nate Herbig, my boy, does a good job here on 91. Really good footwork from Herbig. You can tell he lost weight a little bit. He's quicker on his feet,
and just work the guy upfield. If he wants to go upfield, that's fine. You take him there. That's no problem. Good job. This is a fun play design. The more I look at this, the more I like it. Sweep option here. So you have the option for Jalen Hurts. You key on the defensive end here. If he is crashing to the inside here with the rest of the line, you give the ball to Miles Sanders, and he has the lead blockers there to the outside and the three receivers to that side. If he stays with Sanders as he does in this play, then you have the QB option. So you're going to have Landon Dickerson and Andre Dillard go out here. Good job by Nate Herbig on 91, getting him sealed off there initially. And then Dillard come here and get the block on 59, creates a gap, and then, that's good 6-7 yards there on a pretty cool play design. Zone read, and defensive end is staying with Jalen Hurts, so he gives the ball away. That is the correct read. Good job here by Jason Kelce, working in combination with Landon Dickerson on 91, and then Kelce's working up towards the linebacker. There's an easy crease here to run through if you're Miles Sanders, but he goes east-west, doesn't follow his blockers, and ends up with nothing. But good job by the O-line. 4-man pressure for the Chiefs here. Let's take it from the side. Driscoll, good ankle. Good, I like the way he worked with his outside hand here to get control of the guys, because he always has that inside hand. If they're going to counter to the inside, he has that hand to sort of catch them as they're coming inside. But he takes away some of the momentum right here and keeps driving his feet upfield so he can flip his hips and then work the guy upfield there. That's a good job by Driscoll. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the line here. Nate Herbig takes on Chris Jones. Man, what a rep by Nate Herbig. Takes away the momentum immediately from Chris Jones. Has him single block, solo block, full control. Good to see. The rest of here, we got the double team there from Dickerson and Kelce working good combination. Dillard gets pushed back a little bit there by 51. Maybe it's a good thing the ball got out quickly. Inside stunt for the defensive tackles here for KC. Driscoll doing a hell of a job here on 97. Utilizing that he gets a little bit too low, pulls him down a little bit, has good control of him. Got Herbig and Kelce taking on 90 as he is stunting to the other side here, and then you got Landon Dickerson 1-on-1 against 98. Dickerson does a good job of giving off 90 to the other two guys, but then he's a little bit slow getting to the edge here of 98, and he gets a QB hit. So that's a poor ass rep for Landon Dickerson. Andre Dillard working on 51 once again here. Gets beat to the edge there a little bit. Not controlled with the flipped hips. You're not driving him upfield. So another poor rep for Dillard. Chiefs are showing pressure on this rep here. So try to confuse Hurts a little bit. Driscoll, terrific rep once again. Has 97 in good control. Takes away his momentum quickly. Nate Herbig once again here. He's trying to drive his guy upfield. Doesn't have as much control as this rep right here. You want him to have a little bit more lean into 98 here and drive him more inside and more away from Hurts and then upfield. Here he almost gets behind Herbig there. Not a good rep there at all. Andre Dillard, take a look at him. It's a better rep. It's better. He struggles a little bit with 51 in this game. But it's better right here. He's in better control than he was on the other reps. Kelce and Dickerson working well on the inside. Good job all over the offensive line on this rep here. Andre Dillard, good rep on 97. Comes out and attacks him a little bit more instead of catching him. Has him in good control. Jason Kelce working with Landon Dickerson here on 94. 99. Nate Herbig has 91. Really well. Good footwork from Nate Herbig on that rep. Jack Driscoll is working a little bit in combination with Dallas Goedert on 51 to begin with. Dallas gives him a little bit of a chip. And then Driscoll takes over well. Good footwork. And then Dallas lets 49 go. I believe it's Daniel Sorensen, so he's a free rusher. That's risky because if it wasn't because Hurts is as good of an athlete as he is and evades that pressure, that's a sack. But it really looks like it's something that they planned because Dallas sees this guy is right up there in pressure. And Driscoll can't let 51 go, so Driscoll is set up in a tough position right there.
if this wasn't on purpose, and it does not look on purpose when you take a look at Jalen Hurts and how he has to escape the pressure there. 4-man pressure again. This time we're in the red zone. Of course, the one we're going to watch here, Jack Driscoll going against Chris Jones here, one-on-one. Has him in good control, good leverage on him, good footwork, takes away his momentum. That's just, so impressed by Driscoll in this game so far. Nate Herbig takes on his guy here. A little bit out of control, gets driven back a little bit, but overall, I think he does an okay job on the play. He does a sufficient job. I mean, he ends up giving up some pressure and gets rushed back a little bit. So it's by no means ideal and not what you want. But he is alone on the guy right here, and the play has way enough time to find the open guy here. Look at the tight ends down at the bottom. There, you want the flat guy bites up. You have a touchdown right there. At that point, you still have a chance to just to gun the ball in there. So Herbig gets pushed back. The rest of the offensive line do a pretty good job here. Dillard has his guy, but Hurts runs into trouble. On the touchdown run for Kenneth Gainwell, very light box here. Only one guy in the box, and we have a wide 9 out here. So pretty much we have 4 guys really as a threat here. Really good job by Landon Dickerson and Jason Kelce working in combination on the one tech, and then Kelce moving up for the linebacker. Kenneth Gainwell following his blocks well, getting in there for the score. Zone right, and a much better job by Miles Sanders of following his blocks off the middle right here. End stays with zone read, or is end stays with Hurts, so you give the ball off. Kelce and Dickerson doing a really good job here, moving the middle of the field, the middle of the line there, and Miles Sanders just plows through that. Follow your blocks; those are big dudes, and you get 6 yards on the play. This is how you want it to look. 4-man pressure. We have the offensive tackles here. Driscoll taking away the momentum of his defensive end, has him in good control there. Dillard gets his guy upfield instead, so instead of stalling him, he just works him upfield. And then you have the double team there with Herbig and Kelce, and Dickerson doing what he has to. So that's a fine pocket. Another rough rep for Nate Herbig. Standard 4-man pressure. And we have Kelce sliding to the right side, to the left side. So they got the 3 guys up there. Driscoll doing a hell of a job here on his defensive end. That's just basically what he does every rep. Has his guy in good control. He takes a good get off out here and initiate the contact. And he's far away from Hurts when he initiates the contact, so he has a lot of space to work with. Moves his feet well, but Herbig simply gets driven back on this rep here by Chris Jones. Tough matchup. So Hurts has to get out the pocket because of it. Decent job by the O-line again. 4-man pressure for the Chiefs, starting out with Jack Driscoll. Good angle here. His dude wants to go upfield. That's fine. Good hip turn and drives him upfield. You have on the other side with Dillard. 51 is going to go inside on this rep here. He has a little bit of a poor angle here. Not really in full control. He leaves the inside a little bit susceptible, but he does follow through here. And Hurts does a good job of taking a few steps to the left side and evading the pressure. And the rest of the interior doing a good job. We have Kelce and Dickerson sorting out Chris Jones there. Probably a good idea to help Nate Herbig out at this point with Chris Jones. Initially, this is a very good job by the offensive line altogether. Driscoll on Chris Jones. Man here. He wants to go upfield. He lets him, drives him upfield there. Gives her sufficient time. But at a certain point there, Chris Jones gets free, and he has a good motor and keeps going inwards. Herbig helping out Jason Kelce. Really good chip block here by Dallas Goedert on the defensive end. And Dillard is in a position where he expects Hurts to be in the pocket. He isn't. He is going to scramble up here. So the defensive end can just, go and tackle him. There's really no one open on the play, and that's the most unfortunate part. So even though you can say, all right, there's a pretty good pocket here for quite the amount of time for Hurts to find a guy to throw the ball to. There aren't that many options. You could always check it down for someone and then just see what they can get. I think initially it's a good job of the line, but the time just runs out. Got an overload to the left side of the line here, 4-man pressure. First, let's take a look at Driscoll against Chris Jones out here to the outside. Another really good job here taking him on that outside arm to begin with. I mean, Jones doesn't even want this rep. I mean, he's like, all right, we're overloading the other side. Fuck this.
Kelce have a little bit of a rough rep here. It's his turn finally. This is the final drive, and this is the first time that he really had a rough rep. So the one tech here is going to take him over. You got a stunt from the outside here. He's going to loop all the way inside, and you get the pressure there on Hurts with the QB hit. Overall, a good job by the O-line here on this rep. We have Chris Jones getting chipped a little bit there by Quez Watkins, getting taken over there by Jack Driscoll. Rest of the line working well to the right side, and then Kenneth Gainwell here, who is who's going to take do a little bit of a chip here. We are sliding to the right side, and we have Kenneth Gainwell coming in here and with a chip block. This is the unfortunate thing because Dillard actually has him on this point here, and then when Kenneth comes in and gives him a little pop, Dillard is out of balance, and he isn't ready for him to go inside. And the combination with Hurts, getting up the pocket at that point is just unfortunate because that puts the defensive end in a very good position to get the sack on the rep. Very good rep here for the offensive line. We're going to have some stunt action here. We're going to have Chris Jones. He's going to loop all the way to the other side here. Really good job by Jack Driscoll. He's taking his guy inside. He wants to go in, take him in. Heads up by Nate Herbig, who really, when you have the defensive line stunting like this and sliding everybody to the other side, that's when you just pick him up in order. Like you just slide with them, right? So Driscoll is he's gonna pick up the defensive end and he's gonna take him inside because his rush lane is gonna be impossible for Nate Herbig to pick up. And so when the defensive tackle goes, stunts over to the right side, Kelce picks him up. Herbig takes over on Chris Jones. This is coming out here. And all in all, it all works out. Everybody has their responsibility. Good pocket for Hurts. 4-man pressure, and really the offensive line picks it up very well. Jack Driscoll has this guy solo blocking out here. The 4 deals on the inside. Good pickup here. You have Kenneth Gainwell, Dallas Goedert on the end. Everything here works out well. That's a fine pocket. But we get this headless chicken Jalen Hurts rep, like we saw in the beginning of the game, and he ends up making some what's the term there? Backyard bullshit play with a flick to Dallas Goedert when you have Devontae Smith wide open over the middle and a good pocket to just step in and just throw that ball. He's wide open across the middle, but instead it becomes this erratic running around while there's really no pressure, and then it ends up with that flick at the end. A little unfortunate, but end of the game, trash drive. Yeah. And the final play here, the garbage time touchdown. But we do get to see another rep of Jack Driscoll against Chris Jones here on the outside, and another very good rep. Takes away the momentum. Very good rep by Jack Driscoll, and man, did he play well. So to summarize it all, how impressive was Jack Driscoll against Chris Jones? God damn, I think he was. He got told 2 hours before the game, right? You're starting at right tackle. You're going up against Chris Jones, who's an all-pro defensive end. I counted 2 times where Chris Jones got the better of him. Nobody other on the defensive line, on the ends they put out there, got anything on Driscoll. One was a shove where he got pushed back by a bull rush, and one of them was where he gave up upfield a little too early, and Chris could bend it in there and get the hurry on Hurts. Other than that, some of the minor takeaways, that's the key takeaway. God damn, Jack Driscoll is good. Minor takeaways, Andre Dillard struggled in this game. I don't think he had that good of a game. Got beat in multiple situations, both on the bull rushes and off the edge. So a little step back from, he had a strong game last week. I think Nate Herbig did fine. He struggled with Chris Jones when Chris moved to the inside, and naturally, otherwise I think Nate did fine. I mean, he was a very capable replacement right guard in this game. Jason Kelce is a freak of nature. He counted one play where he gave up a pressure or a QB hit on that play. Other than that, he was an anchor in the middle, make some bonkers blocks downfield, and in the screen game overall, very good job. Landon Dickerson had that one bad first play. Other than that, I think he came back well for the rest of the game. So good job by the replacement here on the offensive lineman. And as it is looking right now on Thursday, it does not look like Lane Johnson is going to suit up against Carolina Panthers. So we're going to see more Jack Driscoll. We're going to look forward to that. Maybe next week we're going to do a solo on him. Let me know what you think of this format here with the going through the offensive line as a unit. Do you want to go back to taking specific players and then get fewer players to look at, because it does take a lot of time with that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and let's beat Carolina.